Alrighty, hope that's okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I hope. This is just a bit of pre-game. I'm just gonna wait for the audience to come in, and then I'll start more or less. You can already see where I'm starting with, but we'll see about the rest. Just wanting to check all the stream stuff. I haven't done streaming for over a year, so okay, let me just check this. Can't even do that. Seems fine about now. Hey Ellis. Just doing some pre-game, just waiting in. And again, I haven't streamed in over a year, and this is one completely different topic, besides gacha and everything, so trying something new, more or less. So take it easy on me. If you're also wondering about the Twitch thing, I will talk about that after, near the stream's over. In real life stuff was mainly the problem, but Twitch, you know what the platform is going on right now, but yeah, which is why I came back to YouTube, but I just didn't have the time to, but now I do. Yeah. No, I believe the last stream was Fake Grand Order on my joke account. But that was only because, I only stopped doing my joke account one was because, I believe it was latency issues with that one. But, yeah, from what I actually saw for my live stream thing, it was it was Fake Grand Order, my joke account, it was the Valentine's event when Murasaki Shikibu actually first came to NA. I believe that was the last stream I did. Yeah, so it was a year away. But yeah, I think, before we go into talking about the waifu story, it's, the reason why I don't stream on my joke account anymore is because my computers just can't handle both streaming and playing Fate Grand Order at the same time. I have huge latency issues to the point of just lag. I can't play it and stream at the same time, which is why I changed it to, boss videos. It was the only other way. I guess the other people on my Discord still hasn't got the notice. I announced it and everything. Unless they can't find it. Let me just actually do this. I'll give it another 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to more or less ping anybody that's still on my Discord, and it will start from there. Anything else? No? Okay, no. I'll just give it another 5 minutes. At best 5 minutes. Is that about it? But yeah, I'm trying to get back to streaming now, so this is a good start, I should say. I think I know what my next stream idea is going to be next, but besides that, we will see. I'm just testing the waters with this stream, at the very least, because again, haven't done streaming for over a year. Alrighty. And yeah, there's an explanation as to why it's D-Gram at the start. Very old anime. We'll get to it. But man, this one's a blast of the past. Yeah, there was a remake and everything, but not a remake. It was a continuation from 8 years. It's so long ago. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. That was my internet disconnecting. I don't know why it does that. I hope it's back to normal. Yup, it's back to normal. Okay, just had to check. Okay, I'll give it... Yeah, I know. I just hate when the internet disconnects. It's even... Seriously, it's... I get that fear on when I have to stream. I'm doing something, but the thing is for me, the internet disconnecting for me, sometimes it does obviously reconnect. But at other times, it just straight up just doesn't let me reconnect, so I have to shut off the computer and turn it on again. And if that happens, basically my entire setup, I need to redo it, which is really annoying. Oh, music's gone, I believe. Let me just check on. Yeah, I'll give it one more minute, then I'll just start it, because, yeah, it's gonna be archived anyways. And yeah, one last thing is that since I'm even like talking about D Greyman, it started in 2006. You can kind of see how this is very. This spans over a decade. Of me trying to tell this story, it's kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, that's D Greyman is very old. That's why I just have such a nostalgia with this one. Okay, I'll just let people just come in later, more or less. I gave them more or less time to wait. They'll just come in between the story. They'll have to catch up, I guess. So, let's start off with... Okay, so I'm gonna start off, since I don't know the exact date, so let's say around a decade ago. Yeah, it starts around a decade ago. And this is when I was like more or less, I started getting really into anime, and I just started watching anything that I can get my hands on. And considering it was just, the internet, we just started, downloading animes or whatever, and let's just say, I just got my hands on anything I could from my friends, from what I can download, which was extremely slow at the time. But one of the animes that I did actually get a hold of from a friend, I believe, was D Greyman. And let's just say that I just pretty much fell in love with this anime extremely quick. Yeah, the anime download saga, exactly. But yeah, I got really into D Greyman. I believe I binged it in like 2 weeks. And considering this anime is like 100 episodes long, you can kind of see I actually really loved it at the time. This was also during the time when, like, little fun fact, I did not start reviewing anime from my anime list. Not the site first. So, put into a little bit of context, I started doing anime reviews in a Kingdom Hearts wiki. Like, precisely, it's, if you guys know this one... Yeah! Oh my god, yeah, so here's a little bit of, like, ancient stuff that I did ages ago. So, basically, this was I was like, I believe I was a moderator for this wiki. Obviously, a lot has changed, but any scrap of stuff that pertains me, it's it's basically being wiped up. So you can't see any traces of me at all. But in terms of actually, just hold on, I just want to check the OST. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Just got a message. Anyways, okay, so let me concentrate back onto this. I usually did anime reviews here because this was a fandom site and everything. Basically, I kind of had a bit of free reign, not to mention I was a moderator at the time. Yes, I was a moderator at the time. Where I pretty much did split duties, where I helped out with articles in this wiki, as well as doing my own thing on the side on my own user-generated articles as such, and I just did these extremely short anime reviews, and I just did whatever I wanted, essentially, just say like DNA Angel, D Grey Man, Soul Eater. Soul Eater was actually probably the first anime they actually reviewed in quotation marks. So basically, from that, and with what animes I had on hold at the time, I just watched whatever I wanted and just reviewed whatever I wanted. And basically, one sentence reviews, which is hardly a review. But I got better over time. But yeah, this is some ancient stuff. This is more than a decade ago. So yeah. So from that, going into D Grey Man, who do you think was my first crush, considering how quickly I finished watching D Grey Man in like 2 to 3 weeks, nearly binge style. This was before Netflix, by the way. Guess who? Guess who it was out of this? I'll just say it outright because it's going to take too long. It was Lena Lee. And to say the least, that she was more or less, she was a character that a minority of people liked at the time, considering how, shoujo based the seinen shonen anime was focused in. Quite obviously, I kind of got a crush on Lena Lee. It also helped that this is where I actually first got my, prescient like of the voice actor Shizuka Ito from. It was because of Lena Lee. Never seen D Grey Man. Yeah, as I said, this is a very old anime. This is ancient to say the least. But yeah, she was technically my first anime crush ever. It was also during the time of me saying, oh, waifu, it's funny, but like I actually gained a liking to Lena Lee for about a year and a half. I also watched D Grey Man more or less, like, obviously it was after it finished releasing, but I binge watched it when I got a hold of it. It was that kind of situation, but that is pretty much how it happened. So, from that, I will be moving on from my Lena Lee arc, I'll say, because there is two major problems as to why most of my anime waifus does kind of fall out at the end, but I'll let you kind of guess as to why. We'll move on to the next one, because I believe it is... yeah, Shana. But, so, during my anime reviewing phase into this wiki, I got a hold of the information of the fact that Rie Kukumiya did like this big 5 tsundere animes. So I want to have a look at them. So obviously, the first. Now this. Oh really? You never heard of Shana? Oh my god! Yeah, this one's an absolute classic. Well, for me, anyways. But yeah, Shakugan Ashana was one of the animes that Rie Kukumiya did the big 5 tsundere queen animes in, and I was interested because I liked Rie Kukumiya as a voice actor. You can kind of tell that I was, very big into Japanese voice acting at the time, so I wanted to know what other voice actors did. Rie Kukumiya was one of them. Obviously, Shizuki Ito, I grew a fondness of her voice acting because of Lena Lee. But let's just say, from Shakugan Ashana, who do you think I actually liked? If you've watched my Shakugan Ashana collab video with Index Imaginary Fest, there was one particular character I wanted out of every one of them that came out. Just guess. Like, this one I'm actually telling you to guess, because this one's gonna be a shocker to say the least. Or it might just be, very obvious if you've been in my Discord for quite a while. Shana Hikate. It was actually Wilhelmina. Yeah. Another niche character that not many people liked. I actually liked Wilhelmina the best out of every single character from Shakugan Ashana. Again, I was in the Shizuki Ito phase. I still was at the time, and yeah, Wilhelmina caught my eye, and Wilhelmina is also the reason I caught on to a small fetish, I'll say. Wilhelmina is pretty much why I like maids. Like, seriously, she's the originator as to why I like maids. But yeah, as to why... Actually, no. I'll say why Lena Lee and soon enough Wilhelmina fell off. But yeah, Wilhelmina, I believe she lasted about another year or so. Maybe a little bit more because I was trying to hold on to my Shizuki Ito phase and everything. So, from that, more or less comes my, let's just say my flip-flop phase, because this was, I believe, after Wilhelmina's arc for, my anime waifu ended, a lot of restructuring happened in Kingdom Hearts Wiki. I also quit at the time. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember quitting at the time. I wanted to move to my anime list and do stuff there. So I decided to basically move my anime stuff because I obviously I became a huge anime fan at the time. So I decided, it was multiple reasons. It was the fact that I was obviously becoming a huge anime fan to the point that I'm writing reviews about anime. I gained anime waifus, and at the same time, I didn't do any Kingdom Hearts stuff at the time. Also, the third to last factor is the fact that the Kingdom Hearts wiki just restructured so much that I couldn't do anything. Let's just say I'm not going into too much detail because my superiors from a different wiki that's involved with this one before, they'll know if they're still doing, their their Kingdom Hearts wiki at the time, so if they know, they know, but I will just say because of the restructuring and everything, and the fact that I couldn't do much in this wiki, kinda led me to say, you know what, let's just quit on amicable terms, and then just say, we'll be moving to my anime list, because obviously, huge anime fan, I want to do reviews there instead. So, that's pretty much where I close my time with Kingdom Hearts Wiki. So, this is when I started doing my anime list reviews, and I believe I did quite a lot at the time during my anime list review phase, because I did a lot from what I remember. Yeah, 500. I did 500 reviews. I did 500 reviews in my anime list. Yeah, I still have it in. I still do my anime list, but I don't do reviews anymore. Obviously, I've moved on from doing that, but I still watch anime on the side. So, yeah. But, yeah. From the switch up, and from, you know, me going to new sites, came into my flip-flop phase. Pretty much, what I mean by flip-flop phase is I like one waifu character, and then next season I like another one. That happened a lot at the time during my flip-flop phase. There is one little thing I'll be missing. It's kind of obvious because I'm not pointing it out at the moment, even though it's directly in my face, but we will get to her. But during my flip-flop phase, I believe there were three or four notable anime characters I liked. But I believe the first one is... yeah, Shizuki Ito. Not Shizuki Ito. Isuzu Shinto. Yeah, from Amagi Brilliant Park. I absolutely loved her when her season came up, and she also gained, her voice actress also gained interest towards me, because to me it felt like Ai Kakuma was basically like a new version or a new talent similar to Shizuki Ito. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that Freudian slip. But, yeah, Ai Kakuma, she did brilliantly as Isuzu Shinto. And, I actually really liked her. But I will point out one little thing about Ai Kakuma, though. If it'll... yeah, shut up. If you know what she did, you will kind of see why I said that she was like a spiritual successor towards Shizuki Ito at the time. And that is, if we can go... oh, it's probably way down. Let's go down. If it will show up. I know it'll show up. Let's keep going. Keep on going. D-Grayman Hollow. The continuation of D-Grayman Hollow? Yeah, guess who Ai Kakuma voiced? Lena Lee. You can kind of see why I actually saw Ai Kakuma as a spiritual successor towards Shizuki Ito. In my opinion, for her doing the continuation and voicing Lena Lee, I say that she actually did a quite good job of it. But obviously, considering how the continuation of D-Grayman Hollow got into some very serious topics, and Lena Lee didn't really get to do much, but for what Ai Kakuma did with Lena Lee, I still say that she stood up to the mantle as to what Shizuki Ito did. So, yeah, Ai Kakuma caught my eye because of this, and yeah, quite obviously, this stems from my liking to Isuzu Shinto. That's number one. Number two is a more, bigger one, to say the least. 8 years later, yeah, I know. The next girl then the next flip-flop waifu was basically Utaha Kasumi Gaoka. Oh god, her last name. This, in my opinion, was actually probably Kano's best role she has ever done, in my opinion. Only reason I say this is because I actually read like the first chapter of Sai Kano, and like the voice that I read in my head when I was actually reading the manga was pretty much like 99.9% accurate as to what Kayano's cadence was, and she nailed it. I absolutely loved Utaha from like everything that she did, basically, considering she's like the trickster, flirty, femme fatale type, but she's also like a courtier type at the same time. Also a bit of tsundere. It's a bit of both. Like she's a really teasing type, to say the least. But because of Utaha, like for Sai Kano, like she was best girl for me. 100%, she was best girl for me. And I believe the last one, if I can remember correctly, was let me actually just go into my profile just in case I missed anybody. Oh wait, no, here it is. Let's see. Nobody else? Nope. Okay, there was a bit of flip-flop as well, but I do remember two more from what I remember. And the other one, well, I'm not gonna, like, she had the least, like, I liked her in the anime, obviously, but least remembered, to say the least. Again, this is my flip-flop phase. It was Asuka, that's right. Yeah, Asuka, like, she was the best character to me in Hibiki Euphonium. 100%. Absolute best character to me. And I think the proper fourth member for my flip-flop phase was actually Irina Nakiri from Shokiki no Soma. Again, flip-flop phase and everything, but yeah, I liked her. I know she was quite a and like at the start, but obviously she got way better later on. But like considering her voice actors and everything, like Risa Tanade, who was also like the previous MASH before she got not replaced but substituted in for Rie Takahashi, and then later on Hisako Kanemoto also took over Irina Nakiri's role. Let's just say she was a tsundere, but I obviously liked her, so that came in as well. But from that, so I think I'll point out what I said before about like Lena Lee, Wilhelmina Carmel, and pretty much all of my flip-flop phases, waifus and everything, why they kind of fell off at the time. Lena Lee and Wilhelmina the most. The material / fan art, off-brand, kind of fell off. So there wasn't much material to actually look into more towards the waifu thing in the first place. That's why, because Lena Lee is ancient to say the least, that kind of makes sense. Wilhelmina Carmel was already a niche character at the start, and considering there was not many off-brand arts and everything, basically, I couldn't do much. I actually couldn't do much. And that's why the flip-flop phase, considering like how crazy the anime phase, like anime in general, was starting to get mainstream at the time, you can kind of see why my flip-flop phase kind of happened at the time, because there were so many good anime and so many good waifus at the time. Obviously, there was just... You flip-flopped. You kind of had to flip-flop between season after season as to, oh, I like this character, I like this character, I like this character. Obviously, Arena, Isuzu Shinto, and Utaha Kasumi Goka caught my eye, and they still kind of do it for me. Like, even now, like, they are memorable characters to me. Like, a lot of people might say no, but to me, I still say yes to, like, to them being memorable characters. I still do. But, okay, so, with that, oh, my voice. So, to that, I say, I'm missing somebody, aren't I? Because I've said, like, you know, my Lena phase, my Wilhelmina Carmel stage, and my flip-flop phase, I'm missing somebody. My actual waifu. Who is it? And it's kind of obvious, since I hinted at multiple times, but, back during my Wilhelmina phase, this was around 2012, 2000... Hold on. Oh, yeah, it was. This was during my 2012... I'm gonna say about 2013. Around 2013. And let's just say that, what was it? Idolmaster... I caught hold of Idolmaster, the anime at least, and obviously not the game, because that's Japanese exclusive at the time. But I caught hold of Idolmaster at the time. And as you can see, one of my favorite animes of all time, the OG at least. And this was obviously about a decade ago. I watched this anime, and then, like, absolutely loved the cast, absolutely loved the anime. I believe my favorite character from not Cinderella Girls, the original Idolmaster was Chihaya Miki. Obviously, my anime list also thinks the same. But I think out of, like, Chihaya and Miki, it was actually Chihaya. Like, absolutely, she was my favorite character at the time. Like, and also Chihaya is the main reason why I like Asami Aima. It's also why, for, like, Asami Aima, I like Lapland from Arknights, I like, Vera from Grand Blue Fantasy. Like, Chihaya is, like, one of the main reasons, / Asami Aima, because Asami Aima also did, I believe she did Kurusu Makisa from Steins Gate, another, waifu I liked during the Wilhelmina phase, but I'm not going to call flip-flop phase. But, yeah, Asami Aima, great voice actor. She did amazing as Kurusu. And I will also say Ikaruga, when the Senran Kagura anime also came out at the time. Obviously, I was a huge fan of Asami Aima, but it stems from Idolmaster. So, why am I talking about Idolmaster? That is because the spin-off, in quotation marks, came out in the form of... do I need to actually write it? There it is, at the bottom. This, hold on, I'm going to catch my breath a little bit. Yeah, obviously the spin-off in quotation marks came out, but this is not how I know about Cinderella Girls from the start. It was not the anime that I actually knew first about this installment in particular, because I actually knew this series well before that. That is because of this wiki in particular. So obviously I was not a moderator for this wiki, but I came to the site because this was the mobile game era, or at the very least, the very like early stages. This is like the Clash of Clans boom stage, and during the mobile gaming stage, obviously I got a hold of a phone. I also got a hold of a tablet. So you can kind of see where this is going. And this was... I'm not going to say this was 2013. Wasn't it around 2013? Oh, it kind of had to be. But I'm going to say it's about 2014 this happened. So we'll skip 1 year with everything that I've been talking about. So it's been about 2014, because otherwise, in my opinion, it won't make any sense, because I need to get a hold of a mobile phone in order for me to know about this 8 years prior. So we'll stick with 2014. So, obviously, I came to the site because I knew about Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. Not from the anime, from the mobile browser game, the Mobage game. That's how I knew, because I just stumbled upon it because I was such a huge fan of the original Idolmaster. Any other installment I will be interested in. At first, I went to the site because she caught my eye. Guess who she's voiced by? Nao Taoyama. You can kind of see, this is also my originator as to why I like Nao Taoyama. Yeah, the browser game. I heard the browser game is also shutting down, but the Derusute mobile game, the one I'm playing, is still going. But yeah, the Mobage browser game is what led me into this site. And at first, I was just interested in Mizuki because, like, I found out that she was voiced by Nao Taoyama, and this was also, I'm gonna say, let's actually pinpoint this out. So, 2015. Okay, so this was a year prior. This was a year prior before the actual anime released. So, I'll say that I just found the site. I didn't know about the voice actor, but she did caught my eye. Mizuki did caught my eye. This was before she even had a voice, I believe. But considering that she's voiced by Nao Taoyama, I'll just say as a side note, this is why I gained a fondness for Nao Taoyama voice roles. She's the originator, I'll say. But why am I talking about the site? Why am I talking about the site? So, what I usually did around 2014 at the time was looking at the new idols that that this new installment had, and I just, browse through them like I'm doing right now, just finding whoever I want, seeing who they are, because, these are new idols, I want to see what they are like, etc., etc. Just look at them, look at the cards, and then, and then just go about my day. That's kind of what I did for months, until somebody caught my eye, and this is in 2014. 14 going on 15. But one person caught my eye because I was just scrolling through idols just to see what they did, what they are, everything. Guess who caught my eye? Yeah. And do remember, this was 8 years ago. This was 8 years ago. So she was She was a I'm gonna be kind of harsh here, but she was basically a nobody. She had no voice actor. Her I'll say, let's actually view her history a little bit. Let's just say oldest, and go to imported. let's see, 2010. No. Compare selected versions. Let's go to November 2013, shall we? So this is 2013. Okay, no, that's perfect actually. Actually, wait. Let's go proper. I'm gonna say about. Let's say about November 1st, 2014. So this is. Yeah. So 2014. This is the first image I see of this of Makino, and there is hardly any. Look at this. This is all she had. This is all she had when I first saw her. Actually, I'll say that back like in her actual first one. Yeah, I believe I saw this at one point. It was extremely vague, but I just saw this. So this is all she had. But by the time I actually caught my eye on her, she had about this much. Hardly anything. She was basically a nobody. No voice actor, nothing, just a couple of cards. That's it. She, like, I'll say the quote. I'll say the quote of this entire stream. This is how I met my waifu. Like, I'm being serious. This was how I met Makino. All blue too. Yeah, I know. Oh no. The blue is her what was it? Her typing. She's cool. Essentially, she's a cool idol. That's why there's a lot of blue. But this is just how I saw her, and I was just stumbling upon this wiki, and I just saw her. I liked her in 2014. Yes, I was one of the first. I will say that right now. I'll say this just because I can. One thing is, I told you so to everybody who actually saw, to everybody that saw, Makino's latest, SSR. I told you so that Makino was a great idol, and that is because, like, recently, I'm going to future span here, which is, I told you so that Makino was great. And this summer SSR was the main reason why currently people are actually taking interest in her, because of this SSR. And to me, I say, I knew about this 8 years ago. Oh, I'm so proud of that fact. The fact that I actually liked Makino 8 years prior to all of this. So, yeah, basically, how I met Makino was basically through this wiki alone, and the fact that I actually was interested in the Idolmaster franchise. The new installment came out. Obviously, I heard about the mobile game, and I wanted to find out as much information as I wanted to. I stumbled upon her, and boom! Yeah. Obviously, I'll say about a year later. So, let's go back to the history. If there is history. Difference. No, not that difference. No, I can't do it that way. Okay, I'll just, go back. Yeah. Basically, you wonder why? No, it's the reason why Makino blew up was because of this. I've seen so much fan art of Makino in her summer outfit / her awakened outfit that basically everybody has taken notice of her. That and the fact that she gained a voice also helped. But again, I liked Makino 8 years prior to all of this. I was one of the very few. But yeah, obviously over time, so this was at the end of my Wilhelmina Carmel waifu stage, and this was nearing the start of my flip-flop phase. I did, for I'll say about a year or so, I continuously went back to this page alone just to see anything new about her, because she caught my eye, obviously. But I will say that she did have a bit of competition, I'll say. They still kind of do, but Makino just trumps everybody at the moment. But obviously during the year where I just constantly went back to this wiki and just like looked up new idols as well as her, I did just constantly look at other idols at the time, and there were a few like her. She did caught my eye, and the fact that she's actually my favorite. Excuse me. She is now my favorite voice, considering I got a voice very recently. But yeah, Chiaki was one of them. Who else? Who else also caught my eye at the time and / had a bit of competition before I started, cementing myself to actually love Makino at the time. I believe it was Hajime was one of them. Who else? Azuki, but I'll say that for Azuki, she kind of fell off at the time. Neo was one of them as well. Who else? Tsukasa kinda, but she kind of fell off for me. A little bit like Azuki, obviously for Tsukasa, she blew up recently as well. Who else do I know? Let's go to Cool, because it's usually my mainstay. Tomo, Yoriko. Anybody else that caught my eye? Serena, kinda. Oh, and Noah. Aitogo as well. Yeah, you can kind of see, I went through basically every single idol page and just wanted to see who they are like. So Chaiki was one of them. Hajime was one of them. She gained a voice actor about a year ago, I believe. Hajime, I was interested in at the time, kinda. Azuki, as I said, I kind of liked her, but she just kind of fell off at the time. You can't blame me. You can't blame me because, again, the factor of fan arts and just arts in general, she kind of fell off at the time. So that fell off. Mio, in my opinion, caught a resurgence. He's also the main reason why I'm actually trying to spark for one of her perms at the moment, because USSR, I have a chance to get her perm if I wanted to. She's my goal currently. Sorry, I've been talking for almost 2 hours, almost an hour now, so you can kind of see why I'm coughing non-stop. But yeah, Tsukasa was one of them. Tomo was one of them. I believe I actually got her SSR quite recently. However, what is actually a bummer about Tomo though, because she's a fortune-telling idol, is that her SSR that she's got, this one, her unawakened art is way better than her awakened dress. I wish they flipped it, because her unawakened art is so good. But then look at her awakened art. It's just kind of too plain. I like her unawakened art way better. But yeah, Tomo, I also caught a bit of interest as well. Yoriko as well. Oh yeah, also if you haven't noticed, Makino is the main reason why I gained that Migame fetish as well. Yeah. So you can kind of see why I also kind of veered into Yoriko as well. Because she also was the standard type at the time as well. Yeah, like Yoriko. Yeah, she's gaining a bit of traction, but compared to Makino, like, she's trying. She's trying her best. Although her recently new event is actually pretty beautiful to say the least. I already got it, but holy crap, look at this. Like Serena obviously caught my eye a little bit because, you know, you can kind of see just from the arts why. Like, seriously, look at this. I'm not going to go into it further, but you can kind of see why. Noah caught my eye as well, and won't you believe it, but I've actually said this in a community post about Noah. It took me 5 years just to get an SSR over this one, precisely. It took me 5 years! The main reason why is because I was collecting Makino's SSRs at the time, and usually I had to spark for either another character's SSR that I wanted alongside Makino's one, or I had to just spark for Makino's one, so I didn't have enough just to get Noah's, so that came into, yeah, that happened as well. Aitogo, I also liked as well, but she's decent. I actually do like her second SSR though. I got her first one though. And Rumi as well caught my eye. As you can see, I'm basically a cool producer because I like so many cool idols. Again, Makino, huge influence as to why I like cool, but also kind of stems from Mizuki and Kaede as well because they're also cool idols as well. So you can kind of see why I like a lot of cool idols, and I'm basically a cool producer, but I do like a scattering of some cute and some passion idols as well, but for the most part, yeah, that's basically why I'm a cool producer. But yeah, more or less, because of that, because of Makino, because I just stumbled upon her 8 years ago. This was at the beginning of my flip-flop phase. Yeah, sorry, I need to just go back into this. But yeah, because of that, during my flip-flop phase, and about a year of me just scrolling through this wiki over and over again, basically, like, one, it cemented that I actually like Makino a lot, and two, my flip-flop phase was basically me saying, oh, I still very much liked Makino, but I did, in the anime terms, liked other characters, mainly in anime, aka Isuzu, Utaha, Arena, at the time. So, basically, and considering into current times, yes, current times, because I will say this, Makino has been my longest anime, has been my longest waifu ever, because obviously the flip-flop phase waifus stayed about like maybe a season or two, and maybe I had a little bit of lingering feelings about them still, etc., but I don't officially call them waifus for my flip-flop phase. Lena Lee lasted like a year and a half, Wilhelmina lasted about a year, Makino lasted 8 years and going. I believe this is technically my 8th anniversary of Makino for me. Yeah, I've liked Makino for 8 years now. Oh my god. So, I think that will be about it, because I'm basically done about my storytime thing. yeah, this took about an hour to go through. I was expecting me to actually ramble on about more details, but I believe I can't think that far to say the least. But from these are just my recollections, to say the least. I was, in my opinion, I thought I was going to talk for about another hour or so, but I will just say for basically another 30 minutes to an hour, I'll just say in chat. Um, if you guys want to throw anime series out there and just see what I think is my, you know, waifu from those series, just throw it out there. I can wait, more or less. So if you're, and just not just anime, like mobile games as well, I'm completely open to actually pointing out who my favorite waifus waifus for any series slash mobile games there is. So just throw it out there, and I'll just say who I like. Oh, and that is how I meet my waifu. Yeah, so to anybody who actually came in late, obviously finished the story time part, but I'm doing it more like a questionnaire kind of thing, basically saying if there's any anime series that you guys want to know about me and who my favorite character slash waifu is, go for it, and I'll just say who I like. That doesn't need to be anime series; it can be mobile games as well. So go for it. I will actually just change the OST though. Let's just throw in this one. Oh, I hate it when it does that. But yeah, anybody? Otherwise, I just might end it here. Uh, I'll more than skip it 10 minutes if nobody is going for any suggestions. Because I still got a bit of time to just stream, so yeah. Oh, but man. Yeah, 2014. Jeez. 8 years and going. Come on, come on. Any anime or mobile game series that you want me to, throw it out there as to who my favorite waifu is, go for it. Or I might just say some that I know. Besides, obviously, Makino from Cinderella Girls. I'll give it another 5 minutes. If not, I'll just say some that I know, and then I think I might just end the stream. Okay. Since nobody's throwing any suggestions, I'll just throw out some, and I think I just might in the stream because not many not many people talking. I guess. So I believe my first one I'll point out is why not from Arc Knights. Favorite character is quite obviously Spectre. There's a reason why I pulled for her. And she's also voiced by Azumi Asakura, who's also voiced Yukiko from the original Idolmaster franchise. So I was not expecting that, but yeah, I obviously like Spectre, which is why I pulled for her. Suzuka Gozen is an easy one for Fate Grand Order. Why is it going to that one? Suzuka Gozen is one of them for me, and quite obviously my Naotayama influence came from Suzuka Gozen, that's why I like her. For Fate Grand Order, will show up. I believe I got a Growled level 100, so there's that too. Yeah, basically, Takao from Azure Lane. I know this one's like a easy one to go for, but yeah, like Takao from Azure Lane. There's a reason why I bought her Racing Queen skin from Azure Lane. And again, you can kind of see my influence. Ai Kakuma also voiced Takao, so that got into it as well. Full Throttle Charmer. Yep, this is a skin I got for Takao. Obviously, favorite character from Azure Lane. What else? What else can I point out? Oh, yeah, I think this one's actually kind of... I'm actually just looking up Yoastar Games waifus. I think my most recent waifu is actually Kagudate Karen, mobile game wise. Like, obviously, like, she's the reason why I actually got into Blue Archive, of all things, and yeah, just... I do believe I got both, yeah, I obviously have both versions of her, but her... Where is it? If I'll show up. Clubs. She's a Millennium School student. That one. Yeah, and like I believe I re-rolled for OG Karen, but Karen, sorry, but yeah. When I realized that she has a battle version of her, yeah, I had to get her. I saved up everything. I had to spark for her, from what I remember. But yeah, favorite character from Blue Archive, absolutely. I will also point out that I do like Swartz from Arc Knights as well, which is why on my alt account I actually do have Swartz and her skin as well. So, I like both Spectre and Swartz, so you can kind of see, yeah, the sniper. So, Spectre, obviously, she's my favorite character, but I like Swartz as well. But you can also kind of see, once again, Swartz is voiced by Shizuki Ito. yes, this influence towards like Shizuke Ito, Riku Gamiya, Ai Kakuma stems very, very far back. So, for Swartz, yeah, I got her on my alt account, so absolutely like her as well on Arknights, and yeah, basically I like Swartz as well. Spectre. I do have a thing for Calcits as well, which is why I got her on alt. But there's another reason why. I will get to it as soon as I'm prepared to E2 her and finish up what I need to do on Arknights. But more or less, yeah, Calcit as well, because I also read on her lore as well. So there's that too. Yeah, obviously, I got really into Arknights as well, so that caught on. This is all still while Makino is still my favorite waifu. I didn't put that out there, but obviously I just looked at other franchises, etc., and obviously, yeah, we'll leave it at that, more or less. Who else, or what other anime series can I actually point to that I know of? Oh, actually, I can just go into my more recent ones. Summertime Render, and this one's quite obvious, to say the least. But for anybody who's watched Summertime Render, I did actually watch it not that long ago. Favorite character is quite obviously Ushi Hizuru. Again, Migane and everything kind of makes sense why I like Hizuru. So, makes a lot of sense. She's also voiced by Yoko Isaka, so there's that too. Who else? Oh, speaking of Yoko Hikasa, High School DxD, my favorite character. This one's obviously easy because I also rolled for her on Senran Kagura. That one's that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer for me. I will also say that on my Mal profile that you can see in my favorite characters list, obviously, Makino, Vera, I said I liked her because on my Asahi Arma phase and everything, Wilhelmina, we know all about her, Kurisu, also for my Asahi Arma days. I actually like Nui from Kill la Kill the most, which is kind of shocking to a lot of people, but this is also, I'll say this is during the phase where I actually started to like a lot of psycho characters. Again, you can kind of see Spectre currently, she's also a psycho nun character. I don't know where it actually stemmed from, but I think it kind of stemmed from Nui for me. Voiced by Yukari Tamura, and yeah, she is crazy to say the least, and just I think my psycho, like my sort of psycho crazy waifu stage was stemmed from her. Like I just love the fact that she was so meta about one, her battle style, and two, how she basically breaks the fourth wall on you multiple times. And remember, this is a Studio Trigger anime, and I like Nui the most. I don't know why. She has that odd sense of weird fear, but also like just she's nonchalant and ginky about it, even though she's so psycho. Yeah, I don't know why I like Nui. Difference in characters exactly. because of Nui, that's why I like Vera. Because Vera is also a psycho swordswoman as well. It's kind of crazy there. Because yeah, no, she may look, prim and proper and everything, but for everybody who knows Vera from Grand Blue Fantasy, you know how she actually is. This picture in particular. and she's voiced by Asami Aiba. obviously Vera, favorite character from Grand Blue as well, so there's that as well. Chris, obviously favorite character from Symphogear, So there's that too. Utaha, we've talked about Utaha. Kongo from Kanto Collection. So this was before Azure Lane and everything, and I'll say, like, again, she's voiced, like, Kongo's voiced by Naoto Ayama. Again, my liking of Naoto Ayama characters stemming from Mizuki, like, reverbed with Kongo. And considering she was a Genki type character through and through, much like a lot of Naoto Ayama roles, she was the best. In my opinion, she was the best character in the Kanto Collection, 100%. And this was before Azure Lane showed up and everything. Obviously, I couldn't play the game because it was stuck in JP, so the anime is all I had. In my opinion, she was the best. She was the best character in Kanto Collection. One is because she actually set the mood, as Genki as she is, and as many comedic off tangents her and her sisters went through for the anime. She did levy the tone, be it through comedic reasoning or just setting the tone, to say the least. And Kongo was the main reason why, which is why she was my favorite character in Kanto Collection. And in my opinion, she made the anime a little bit better. As comedic hijinky they went. I stand by that. I stand by that, because even though Kanto Collection went into like some off tangents because of Kongo, in my opinion, they actually helped levy the tone, which is why I like her. Let's leave it at that, because I know that's kind of controversial, I'll say. Misaka from Index, this one's a no-brainer. This was also, I'm not going to say my originator for my tomboy kind of situation, but I'll just say that Misaka is a special brand, but because of that, I actually really liked her from the Toaro series. Although, she now has a bit of competition, I'll say, because... where is it? Toaro Ragan T. Because more recently, if you guys don't know, since I play Index Imaginary Fest, there's another character I roll pretty often alongside Misaka, on my main account at least. You know her, it's Misaki. Yeah, she caught my eye. Like, I'm not gonna say recently, but ever since Radman T, they fleshed her out and everything. I very much like her. She's pretty much in contention as my favorite character from the Toaro series as well. So it's her pretty much versus Misaka. So kind of funny that. If you know the history about Toaro series. So yeah, that's kind of why I like Misaki and Misaka as well. What else? Ooh. Oh, yeah, so my comments. This was about a year ago. Oh no, it was this year, never mind. Much from there. Yeah, you can kind of see like I like voice actors a lot. If you can see my anime list profile a lot, and you can see a lot of my my leaning as to why I like certain waifus because of the voice actors. Riku Gumiya, Shizuki Ito. I like Shizuki Ito, Naoto Ayama, and Asami Aima gets brought up a lot in the stream, and it kind of makes sense as to why. As for like Makinos at the moment, Yui Ninomiya, who is Makino's voice actor right now, she hasn't done that much stuff because she is mainly an idol. She's mainly a singer. But for the ones that she has done, it's not bad. And I'm also looking at some of her animes that she's been in. Not like Michiru the Animation. I might look into this movie at some point. Obviously, I'm looking at Peter Grill. If you guys know that, I'm not going to talk about the premise because if you know. But yeah, what I am actually interested in actually watching from Yui Ninomiya's discography is probably Aikatsu Friends. because I believe she is in the main cast, but she plays a supporting role in Aikatsu Friends. And I believe this is where she actually did get her. Yeah. Yui Ninomiya is one of the winners of Aikatsu Friends Miracle Seiyu auditions, which is why she landed the role of Emma Hinata. Yeah, so this is pre-Makino Yagami, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, see? She's one of the main cast, but she's probably a supporting role-ish. Like, she's leaning on supporting role, but she's probably part of the group and everything. Yeah, so I am kind of interested in looking at Aikatsu Friends, but currently I'm looking into watching Bleach because of the resurgence of the newest arc at the moment. In terms of Bleach, I think it's kind of obviously my favorite character from Bleach is this one's very obvious in my opinion. She's not in the main part. Let's just, oh boy, let's scour through this one. Come on. I know there's a lot of characters, but come on. Oh my god. I should actually really update that. I believe it's 4.8. 4.8. Yeah, Bleach is another story altogether. I'll talk about that because I only recently started to actually, watch back Bleach and everything. But let's just say it's been over a decade since I've actually last watched Bleach. Okay, let's see. Where is she? My favorite character from Bleach most probably is... There she is. Rangiku. It's very obvious. Very obvious. Also, I've got a figure of her on my shelf as well, so you can kind of see why I actually like Rangiku. I obviously can't show it because no camera, but yeah, no, I definitely have her. I'll knock on the figure that I've got just to say that yes, I do have a figure of her. Yeah, look at that. Well, you can't look at that, but yeah, that's her. Just by sound, I guess her sword. Yeah. I basically got a figure of Rangiku as well, and yeah, why she's my favorite character from Bleach. Very obvious for that one. What else? Actually, speaking of looking at my figure shelf, I do have a couple. This one's very obscure, but I'll entertain you guys for like another 15 minutes because yeah, I'm just basically going off as to some of my waifus in some of the animes. My favorite character, and obviously my anime list also knows that she's the best character. Wilhelmina, not Carmel, but Mi-chan from High School Fleet. She is the best character, in my opinion, in High School Fleet. 100%. Who else? Going on from that, I will say... Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a good one. Infinite Stratos. Anybody remember that? My favorite character from Infinite Stratos is very obvious because it's probably the easiest pick of all. About Charlotte Dunois. Obviously, best character from Infinite Stratos. I hate what they did to her in Season 2, but for the most part, yeah, Charlotte Dunois is probably the best character in Infinite Stratos. And I'll actually point this out. I actually do have a figure of her as well. I believe it's her bunny girl outfit one. You can kind of see the bunnies from hearing that, but yeah, I do have a bunny outfit, Charlotte Dunois. Yeah, that's it here. That's all of the... Oh, one of the bunnies went out. What else? Come on, stick. Yeah, it's one of those magnetic ones, but also the soft orange platform that she's also standing on, if you can hear it. Yep, so also got a figure of her. Again, favourite character from Infinite Stratos. Quite easily. Let me just put this back. If I can... Oh. Okay, good enough. I'll just leave it as this. What else? Who else more like it? Anybody else I can think of? Actually, is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. Okay, just had to check. Who else? Oh yeah, no, this one's easy. Hinagiku Katsura. I believe this one is through my Rikugumiya Big 5 Tsundere Queens at the time. Once again, another Shizuke Ito role that I liked more than the Rikugumiya role. Hinagiku is pretty much the best character in the series. Like, come on. 100%. Oh, and this one's easy. Ori Monogatari, no, okay, Monogatari series, let's just go into that one. Favorite character probably is, this one's a no-brainer to me anyways. You think it's Shinobu, it's Hitagi. It's Hitagi for me, absolutely, 100%. I am basically in Gigat's camp in, who I like in Monogatari series. It's Hitagi, 100%, which is also quite funny because she also voices Tamamo no Mai in Fate Grand Order. But yeah, because her voice actor is Chiyo Saito, same voice actor as Tamamo no Mai from Fate Grand Order. But yeah, it's also why I've got a figure of her as well. I'm not going to show that off because I've just done that 3 times, but you can only hear the figure instead of anything else. Is anything left? Oh, here's a controversial one actually that I know of. Boku wa tomodachi ga sukanai. Or Hagane, I don't have many friends. Yeah, so this was, one, a very niche anime at the time, but a lot of people knew about it. As for favorite waifu for this one at the very least, and I think I might just end it after this one. It was like quotation marks properly. I did like Yozora at first. It's because obviously during this time, because when was it released? It was released in 2013, yeah, so this was during my tsundere phase as well. I liked tsunderes and obviously she was radiating that stuff, so I liked Yozora at the start. But over time, I've actually came to like Senna because of a lot of what the reviews and analysis about this anime series went into. I kind of got it. Obviously, I was just into the tsundere phase at the time, so I just like Yozora that way. I kind of just dismissed the story, but obviously over time, I kind of realized Senna is probably the best character in the entire series. Her, as well as Rika. I'll point that out. Rika is also in my opinion, if it wasn't for Senna, Rika was probably going to be the best character in the series. And to me, I think for Rika, for me, that kind of stuck a little bit more, so I'll say that Rika is actually the best character, and probably my waifu for the series. She also, she actually does wear glasses, so that's also a bonus, I'll say. Yeah, she wears glasses. But Senna is probably the best character for the series. I like Rika just a little bit more, so I'll point that out. Okay. Talking for over 90 minutes now, but I think that will be about it. I just threw up a bunch of anime waifus that I liked over the years, to say the least. But yeah, I think I'll just round this off by... Oh, yeah. Okay, before I actually do end the stream and everything, I need to point out two little things, though. The first one is, why aren't you streaming on Twitch? The easiest thing to say is the entire Twitch drama and everything. I was about to do it, but when the news struck, it was just like the day before I was actually going to like test my streaming in Twitch. But with all the drama that's been going on, I believe it may be still going on. I don't know. I don't want to deal with whatever's going on as to whether like Twitch might just shut down, etc., etc. I don't know. So I decided when I've got the time, just go back to YouTube streaming. Just leave it at that. So I just decided on that. I'm not going to touch Twitch. I'm going to be streaming not weekly, just anytime I can. Obviously, the Christmas season is upon us and everything, so some in real life stuff might be still happening for me in December, but more or less we will see what I can do. I do have one idea in mind, and that's basically an Arknight stream while I do what I proposed I was going to do on Twitch, which is gacha therapy while I'll do my Arknight's grinding, etc., etc. So you guys may be seeing that at some point. It's not a concrete date, but again, the stream is just me testing the waters as to what I can do for now. But yeah, so I believe that's the two things I'm going to actually point out. Obviously, like I'll just reiterate again. One, I'm not doing anything on Twitch anymore. I'm going to stick to YouTube and YouTube streaming. And two, I've got some ideas while still wanting to keep the gacha therapy thing still going. So there'll be some streams where I'll just be doing normal grinding. If you got any questions for me, or I've got some topics that I actually want to talk about gacha related wise, I'm all ears. / I can talk about it if you want to, because there are some stuff that has been egging me on to actually talk about recently. So I do want to talk about that streaming wise, but yeah. My voice is like cutting out because I've been talking like 90 minutes non-stop, but I'll be ending it there. So I think I'll end it with that. My YouTube chat is how I met my waifu. Cut. Okay, yeah. Thanks for everybody who actually showed up on stream. I'll be doing more, hopefully, in the coming weeks or months. We'll see. But yeah, that will do it. I hope this stream gets archived and you guys can see it whenever. So yeah, I hope this stream wasn't as chaotic as I thought it was, because I've been talking non-stop for 90 minutes. But yeah, that'll do it. So I'll leave it here. So you guys know what I'm planning. We'll see in due time. And yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop rambling, because I usually do this on my streams from what I remember. So yeah, that will be about it. So with that, LA. Yeah.